My name is Gusta Johnson, and I am proud to work at the Carnegie Council. The Council has been the voice for ethics in international affairs for nearly a century, but we need your help. To guarantee the future of programs like this one, please give generously to the Council's fund drive. Visit carnegiecouncil.org and click on Donate/Join. Thank you.
Now, technology has its positive sides, and for reporters from the media organizations working in the United States or abroad, these are evident. Computers have been around, I think, longer than most people realize. Journalism had computers really quite early on. The bubble, and nobody is old enough to remember the bubble. I do. I had it taken from me time and again in Central America. They would say, "Tiene una memoria," and that was it. It has a memory. We want it, you know, because you can't use this thing. And when they took it away from me once in Guatemala, I had a little message left in my room saying, "Your booble is weighed at airport." Somebody had thought better of confiscating it and put it out for me when I left the country. It was always dialing up then. If you can imagine doing work in very difficult places and having to dial up. When you had a computer, mostly before that it was telexing and other things. I was once with Fred Conrad, a very famous photographer from the New York Times, in Phnom Penh, and when it was more or less under Vietnamese occupation after the Khmer Rouge had been driven out, and we were in a fly-specked, fly-ridden place trying to work a telex machine, and he was trying the impossible to send photographs to New York. And he looked at me, he had a stricken look on his face, and I thought it had to do with his camera, and he said, "Do you know what day it is? It's Thanksgiving, and I miss my wife." So that was the kind of life it was. Now, you know, you can talk to anybody all the time. You're not out of touch with your office, which is bad sometimes. And your family. Anyone who is a reporter is carrying fewer things. In the days of dial-up, we had to carry bags of equipment to take apart telephones and all kinds of clips and various things to make it work in places where the telephones were at best unreliable. Not only reporters use these things, but onlookers and participants and governments are now involved in monitoring foreign affairs with the same tools journalists have. In Kenya this week, I just read today, the military warned Somalis that they were going to bomb certain Somali towns, and they warned them by Twitter. Now that assumes two things. All the Kenyan military has Twitter, and secondly, are the people who made the request, that enough people in Somalia have a cell phone or a handheld device that they can receive these Twitter messages. I think quick communication has done a huge amount for the quality of reporting abroad. The internet in particular. You can, Google, if you forget the date at which some king died or another invasion took place, you can find it very quickly. I used the BBC timelines quite a lot. You just put BBC timeline Ethiopia or whatever, and it'll give you the entire history. And I do regard the BBC ones as pretty close to 100% reliable. There are others who do this also. CNN will do some timelines once in a while. CNN abroad, as most of you probably know here, is much better than CNN in this country, and they have quite a experienced staff and also linguists. But no reporter with internet access should expect editors to fill in the blanks anymore. You should be able to do these yourself. And under this period when editors are overworked also on 24-hour news cycles and having to do everything online from editing copy to printing the newspaper on their computers, they don't always have time. And the curmudgeons, sit down every day and find all the mistakes in the New York Times. Sometimes, this is what happens when everybody. But this puts again the onus on the reporter, and in fact the responsibility to be sure about facts.